The sword being tested in this video is the Hanwei Practical Katana. It has a differentially hardened 1566 carbon steel blade with a 27 1/4 inch nagasa. The handle measures 11 1/4 inches, and the sword is 39 1/2 inches overall. The sword weighs 2 pounds 6 ounces, and this particular model has a new factory edge.
I don't want something that's, very expensive, nor too inexpensive. Somewhere along $300 to $400 range. Well, the first thing I noticed about the sword was, when you're holding it, the grip was very firm. The overhead horizontal cut, which is one of the more difficult cuts, it, cut relatively well, I thought. Some of the other cuts, like the horizontal cuts, didn't do so well. The weight, the balance, the grip, it felt good in my hands. Thought it was okay.
So generally I use a 29-inch, over 29-inch blade, so that's basically the first thing. I do like swords with a bohie, and from there I just like plain, plain fittings, nothing too fancy, and of course I like it to cut. Uppercuts were very nice and solid cuts. They went straight through. One thing that I did notice about the sword was every time that I went to sheath, it would not, line up correctly, and it would kind of catch the side. The horizontals was, I don't know if it was a little bit of technique, but that was also very difficult for me today. One thing I actually liked about this sword is that it doesn't have a bohie, but it has a very nice weight to it. If it was an inch longer, I think it would probably be a sword that I would probably use a little bit more.
I'm looking for balance, feel, what the proper grip should be,
and where it's weighted for cutting. Pretty much I'd like it weighted a little bit more towards the tip than to the rear. I liked the feel of it. I like the handle for, maneuvering and such like that. It worked very well. As far as cutting, it needed more weight. I feel that the edge could have been better. Aesthetically fit and finish, it was very nice.
This actually might be a little bit strange, compared to most people. I actually want a sword that's sharp, but not stupid sharp. Okay, and by stupid sharp, I mean a sword that's so sharp a stupid person can cut with it. I want to know that when I'm cutting, it's my technique that's making the cut successful rather than the sword. The fact that this particular sword didn't have a bogey. When I didn't make the cut, it was like, this sword didn't take a bend. I tend to like my swords a little bit more tip heavy than the Practical Pro is. Sometimes with the Practical Pro, I felt like I was chopping rather than slicing through the target. Most of that is probably, technique, but I think at least part of it is due to the, to the design of the sword.
So first thing I'm looking, if I look for a blade, make sure that it cut soft. So usually I focus on the sound, depending on how loud and how soft it is. So I like swords that's softer, it has a smooth cut. This actually had a more difficulty cutting. I'm not sure if it was because being sharp or if it was because of the angle, but it didn't feel right. It was very light sword, but if you had a little bit more weight, so I could have better handle and have a feeling for it.
It's hard to say. I don't actually have much experience with swords. I was my first cutter. Tricky in the horizontal cuts, even some of the other cuts. I think the weight feels good.
Not all the way through.
little tough on the horizontal cuts.
Nice.